I'm sure many of you are curious as to what the 10 best books I read for Shorty September were. So why not grab yourself a warm drink and snuggle up and sit down and listen to find out. Hello, everybody. Welcome to and welcome back to my channel, Book Time with Elvis, with me, Mark. And I hope you're doing very well indeed. So as you know, because as I said, I keep going on about it, I read 30 books in 30 days last month for that wonderful event, Shorty September. Now, out of those 30 books, I thought it would be nice to choose my 10 favorites. Now, there are caveats to this. One being that I will not include any rereads, so it has to be 10 books that I read for the first time. So there we go, because obviously then the rereads would easily be in the list and it would be very predictable. So I've chosen the 10 best first time reads that I did whilst participating in Shorty September. So in no particular order, the first book I'm going to say that I thoroughly enjoyed, I thought it was an absolute corker, and I still need to finish the series on Netflix, was Walter Tevis's Queen's Gambit. Excellent book, excellent. I wasn't sure at first whether I would like it or not, but I got really sucked into it. It's a little bit longer than your normal Shorty book, as it came in at what did it come in as? 245 pages, 243 pages. So yeah, it was a bit of a push in terms of time possibly, but it read so well that it was a real page turner and thoroughly enjoyable read. Next up, we have the first book that I decided to read for Shorty September, and it was The Labyrinth Makers by Anthony Price. A great spy story, a perfect choice for somebody if they want to participate in Dr. November next month. It is the first in a series of around 19 or 20 books, following Dr. David Audley, who works for the Ministry of Defence. In this particular book, a plane from the Second World War is unearthed, or I should say unwatered. When they drain a lake or reservoir, the plane is found, and its mysterious cargo that it was thought to be carrying looks to be missing, and the Soviets are also interested in it. Great book, great fun. The Labyrinth Makers by Anthony Price. Now, this is by no means a new series to me, but it was the first time reading this particular book. Night at the Crossroads by Georges Simenon. It is a Maigret novel, and it was, of course, great fun, because all Maigret novels are great fun. And yeah, I'm not going to say too much more about it. If you know, you know. Next up was something a bit different. Thoroughly enjoyed this particular read. Every Frenchman Has One by the well-known golden age of Hollywood actress Olivia de Havilland, and it's about her experiences as a single mother, moving to France, then settling down with her new French husband, having another child, and just try to kind of experience life there as an Anglo-American woman. And it's split up into different chapters, each chapter dealing with certain aspects, trials, differences, culture clashes, cultural points of interest that she experiences during her time living in Paris in the 50s and 60s. She goes on to spend, I think, basically the rest of her life there, and what a long life it was. She died, I think, about 5 years at aged 104, something like that. So yeah, it was more interesting than I expected it to be. So there we have it. Next up, another author who's not new to me, but very enjoyable book, Encounters with Animals by Gerald Durrell. It's just a very loving and warm sketch of his various meetings and encounters with different animals in different places of the world. So pretty much self-explanatory, but a joy to read. Also very much recommended. Next up, we have a real shorty by a great, of course, and it's Colonel Chabert by Honoré de Balzac. And great book. Really enjoyed it. Great story. I've said in previous videos that it has the makings of a fantastic, 19th century French epic, albeit though unfortunately just in 100 or so pages. It could easily have been extended. I definitely feel that it must have in some way inspired Alexandre Dumas with his writing a few years later of The Count of Monte Cristo. There are certain elements, I think, that would have inspired him. So that's a very easy read. It would take you a couple of hours, or if you're a very fast reader, maybe an hour. So yeah, there we go. Also another corker. We can say corkers. There are lots of corkers. Most of these are corkers. Then we have the next one, which is The Black Lizard by Edgar Allan Poe. So terrible that it was great. I don't know. It's just so unbelievable, the stuff that goes on in this book. But it was just very entertaining. And therefore, I just really liked it. I really liked it. I loved my first introduction to Edgar Allan Poe. So it definitely deserves to be on the list, as does the second book that I read by Edgar Allan Poe, Beast in the Shadow. Much more serious, much darker in many ways, and a little bit kind of, not scary, but there's definitely a thrill to it. This kind of follows the stories of two authors, as one may well be stalking this woman that this other author knows, and she brings in this author to investigate. So it sounds complicated, but it was very, very atmospheric, very good fun. Next up, we have a book I did as a buddy read with one of my dear patrons, Steve. You know who you are, Steve, and it was Alexander Solzhenitsyn's On Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, and I really enjoyed this one. Absolutely fantastic, interesting read. It has got me desperate to discover more of Solzhenitsyn's work. Again, very quick read, easily doable in a day, following the said Ivan Denisovich's life, one day in his life as he spends time in the gulag. He's there, I think, when the book starts. He's been there 8 years or so already. He's got 2 years to run. It was very enlightening and very, very good. And we're on to the last two now, and they're both graphic novels. One was this one, Sheets, which is written by Brenna Tumler, and I just found this charming, sad, but hopeful and charming. It follows this ghost Wendell and this girl Marjorie, whose mother's departed, left her with her single father and her little brother to run the laundrette. She does all the work, of course, in it. The father's a bit kind of useless, to be honest. Maybe it's because he's grief-stricken or whatever, but still he should, I think, pulled himself together for the sake of his two children, but hey-ho. So Marjorie has to deal with all these things. She has to deal with a terrible man who's trying to take over the family business to turn it into like a luxury yoga retreat, and Wendell is this ghost. It's very poignant of a little boy who drowned, and he comes from the ghost world, and he kind of at first causes trouble for her, not intentionally, but ends up helping her out. It's just a sweet, charming, and moving story. Very much enjoyed it, and we'll definitely have to check out the others in the series. And the last one was very, very solid, enjoyable, and interesting read. If you look on my Goodreads, some of these may not have been 5-star reads, and others may have been, but they might have been rereads. But there was something about these books that made me feel that these were the 10 best picks from that month of reading during Shorty September. And this last one here is They Called Us Enemy by George Takei. And of course, he's from Star Trek, Mr. Sulu. And it's about tentatively it's about, of course, his time in an internment camp in the US during the Second War, because he was a Japanese American, and they were rounded up shortly after Pearl Harbor and sent there. But it also does give some more insight into the politics behind things, into the life of Japanese immigrants and Japanese Americans anyway, both just before, of course, during, and then even after the Second World War and having to start again, as well as his life as an activist and becoming one of those beloved characters from Star Trek. So there we have it. Those were the 10 best books of my Shorty September experience. If you partook in Shorty September, what were your 10 best books? I'm very curious to find out. If you've read any of these, let me know. If you have any recommendations on more graphic novels, or I don't know, other books by Alexander Solzhenitsyn or Edgar Allan Poe or whoever, any of the others I've mentioned, do let me know. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Take care. All the best. Cheerio.